Hello, everybody. Dr. Amy Spoelstra here with the Focus Academy with one of my actually one of the very first certified focus doctors in the world. We have certified doctors all over the world now, and Dr. Sarah was one of the early leaders in this brain-based movement. So we have somebody very close to my heart, Dr. Sarah Watson, who's in Chicago, really the Oak Park area of Chicago, and doing some really amazing things for the families of that area, of her community, by really leading with the brain development, processing for all ages of kids and adults, and pregnancy, prenatal care, all of that stuff, but really bringing a lot of, staying really chiropractic, but as the foundation, looking at the nervous system, but bringing a lot of clinical expertise and a lot of clinical tools to the table that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to have a doctor who has all this knowledge. So Dr. Sarah, I just want to hear from you for a minute about just of all people. I think that one of the things that really stands out to me about you, there's two really big things. One is that you are super smart and always looking for more information, looking at, what else you can study to bring that to your community. And so first, speak to that, like why you're a successful doctor, like why are you always looking for more?
I think because people always bring more complex problems, right? Like as much as we want to live in this world where everything is simple and that there's one answer for everything, that it doesn't happen that way. It like almost never happens that way. And so I feel like the practice, the community that we've built out here at Oak Park is a practice full of complicated people, right? So like regular people. But like, I think that that's really the thing. Like everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a process that you need to pick apart and figure out how you are going to use the brain, which we know can change, to improve that process, and how you're going to go about doing that. And there's 1.5 million ways to do that.
Yeah. And you really bring, you're very grounded in knowing what you know and having a foundation and a system of how to bring that, to your patients, to your community, with your systems and your clinical expertise. I find that you're always, you teach me constantly and our groups about what else you can bring in, whether it's looking at stress at home or nutrition and biomed and things that you can bring to the table that not every provider can, which is probably why you see some of the complex cases in your community, which is not to downplay the other providers, but it really is to say like, hey, remember, if one provider didn't work, that doesn't mean that's the end of the road. And I think a lot of people end up coming to you because of that.
Yeah. And like, I am so thankful that they give themselves another shot where they haven't just like run out of steam completely. They're like, I have a lot of stuff going on. I need help. And however that comes, right? The approach is the same. And I mean, you know this from teaching us all this, you stick to the same approach, right? You figure out like, what's the basis? What do we know, Dr. Amy? Right? Like, what do we know? And we work out from that, right? I think one of like the things that we try to stick to is, where you hear hoofbeats, it's horses, not usually zebras. And like, I always kind of remember that because as much as I want to do all of the fun stuff, like you need to get the good groundwork. And I think that that's where like so much of what you have taught me really started to fill in like all of that pyramid of how does this work in the real world, right? Because it's a complicated system. It's got lots of moving parts. But if the foundation is shot, the top really doesn't matter because it's going to fall apart anyway. So, yeah. And I mean, chiropractic is a foundation. All the rest of it helps, right? You can add to it and stuff. But yeah, you got to get that brain and that body communicating.
That's right. That's right. I think that's why you get such incredible results in your practice and the massive growth you've had in your practice, just because Not because there's just all these new people. I mean, yes, there's people and people are having stress, especially after this year. But the reality is there's people that are looking for solutions. And when you can clearly give information to help provide hope and the next logical step for people in your community. And then you have a system, a clinical system that allows you to check things off in the right order and build a very unique plan for each unique person that you work with. You get to bring these, I think that's where a lot of doctors can get kind of hung up. They try to bring maybe these other things in before they've got the foundation because they don't have a systematic way to do it.
Yeah. And I mean, it's tough because you really have to stick to your guns with people and be like, nope. You got to get adjusted. You got to stay adjusted. We got to see where you go from here. And then we can do all the fun stuff.
Right.
Otherwise, what are you doing? You're just throwing darts at a wall.
That's right. That's right. I said in the beginning of this little interview here that there were two things that really stick out to me about you. There's a lot of things, but two things. One we talked about is like that's just that desire to continue to learn and bring these clinical tools, perfect them, get the information and bring them for your patients. But two is your commitment to educating your community through your very unique Dr. Sarah lens, which is I love watching what you're doing with your your different social media platforms and the way that you're providing education. I think it's amazing. I think it's wonderful because you're allowing people in your community and beyond to have this opportunity to kind of lean in and hear, what do you have to offer that's a little bit different that might be able to help them?
Yeah. Like we have a TikTok that we do pregnancy videos on and like all sorts of other weird stuff. And like we do a Twitch podcast where we literally just like sit down and pull apart a topic. Like, yesterday's topic was pulling apart like the patriarchy of Western medicine, where like you paying attention to your body is not really what they want.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot to unpack, but we try to do it in a way where it is a conversation, right? Because everybody comes to the conversation at a different time. Just like everybody's going to walk in your door at a different stage in healing, at a different level of acceptance, at like a different level of comfort, right? Some people, some people walk in your door and they're like, I'm 110% here for this. And you're like, yay. And some people walk in and they're like, I have no idea why I'm here.
Yep.
And you kind of got, you got to adjust for that because everybody has their own fears. Everybody has their own baggage that they bring, right?
Yep.
But yeah, no, we have a ton of fun. We have a lot. Obviously, from my scrubs today, you can tell that we are a hyper serious office. These happen to be the pernicorns.
My daughter would love those.
Pernicorns. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I just want to thank you, Dr. Sarah, for being a part of our focus community and really always contributing to help the other providers continue as well, and for doing what you do to create a safe place and bring, laughter and joy and healing and excellent clinical skills to the table for the families and the soon-to-be families, the current families that are living in a very healthy way or having things that are impacting the way that they want to live. And so I just want to thank you for that. And I would love for people watching, for them to know how they can get a hold of you in your office and what your office is called and all of that stuff.
Yeah. So the easiest way to get a hold of us, you can always call the office. The number is 888-476-5171. You can always hoof it on over to our website, drsarahwatson.com. We have a TikTok, which I think is Dr. Sarah Chiro. You can hit up our Instagram, which is Watson Chiropractic. We have a Facebook group page, which is Watson Chiropractic. And you can find me on Twitch. Every Monday we do our podcast, and then randomly I am playing video games. So if you want to talk to your chiropractor about video games, you can do that too.
Well, I know nothing about pretty much any of those things that you just said, but I did hit drsarahwatson.com.
Right.
and I know how to use Facebook.
There you go.
So there you go.
Really all that kind. Just call the office.
Yeah, call the office. Go there if you're in Oak Park area and you're like, hey, I'm looking for information. I just want to I want to plug in so I can have continued education in topics. Or if you want to chat, just get a hold of them. And thank you for being a part of the Focus Academy and for helping, bring this brain-based message to the world, which is really cool because it really is the world now. And helping families and providers and educators see that kids are more and adults, we're all more than our deficits.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for being such a crusader for your own work and for all of this work, because we wouldn't be able to have put all of these pieces together for all of these people without you, Dr. Amy.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you very much. You have a great night. Everybody have a great night out there in interweb land, and we'll talk soon.
Bye, everybody.